Recently, I have announced several legislative proposals that support our law enforcement officers. They include defunding cities that defund their police departments. They include eliminating the annexation power of cities that defund their police departments. It also includes urging Texans, elected officials, as well as candidates for public office to sign the Back the Blue pledge that I'm proud to tell you more than 90,000 Texans have already signed, and we hope to exceed 100,000 before the end of this month. Well, today we are announcing more legislative proposals to do even more to protect our law enforcement officers, as well as do more to keep our community safe. And let me set it up with this framework in this context, and that is the Constitution guarantees the right to assemble peaceably. Peaceably is the word that's used in the Constitution. The Constitution does not provide the right to riot, to rob, to loot, to set fires, to physically harm anyone or anything. In Dallas, Texas, in the months of May and June earlier this year, there were people who did protest peacefully, but also there were rioters who ransacked property and who pummeled people. Now, Texas will always defend the First Amendment right to peacefully protest, but Texas is not going to tolerate violence, vandalism, or rioting. So today we're here to announce additional legislative proposals that will criminalize rioting activities. They include these proposals. First, causing injury or destroying property in a riot will be a felony that will lead to jail time. Striking a law enforcement officer during a riot will lead to a mandatory minimum jail sentence of at least 6 months. And this includes striking an officer with things like bricks and bottles and other projectiles. Using lasers to target law enforcement will be a felony that will lead to jail time. Law enforcement officers have been injured or even blinded by lasers, and these lasers impair a law enforcement officer's ability to perform their duties, especially during the time of a riot. Blocking hospital entrances and exits by protesters and rioters will be a felony that will lead to jail time. This was seen most recently in Los Angeles, and it poses a grave danger to the injured in need of urgent medical care. Using fireworks at protests and riots will be a crime that will cause you to go to jail. Law enforcement officers have been injured by fireworks during riots, and fireworks can also sound like gunfire, causing law enforcement officers to react accordingly. And then the sixth one is that some people participate in riots without ever being there. What they do is they aid and they abet riots with funds or organizational assistance. This will be a felony that will lead to jail time. We also propose giving the Attorney General the power to pursue civil penalties against people and organizations that assist in riots. Criminals charged with these offenses must remain in jail at least until their first court appearance. This will prevent the mockery of the revolving door arrest that we saw in Dallas during the riots that occurred earlier this year, and will ensure that these dangerous rioters will not be immediately released back onto the streets to engage in further riots without first having to go before a court appearance.